Hey everybody, thoughts and perspectives. I have another, uh, um, I guess, I guess it's thoughts and perspectives. I don't know. Um, it's August 12th, and August 12th is that's my sobriety birthday. So I have been sober for 24 years now, and the greatest feeling in the world for me is to wake up every day being sober. Um, those who know me, they knew that I have a past with alcoholism. I drank a lot. Now, comparatively speaking, I didn't drink nearly as much as, like, say, my grandfather did. Um, I started about the same age my grandfather did, about around 16. Although I heard that he started at 13. I'm not sure, but he drank for like close to 60 years, I think, um, or at least 50. 50 or 60 years. He drank up until, well, up until into his 60s. And then when he died, he had about 20 years sobriety, or so he claimed. So, although, I mean, I could remember, my grandfather always had a beer in his hand. He was always drinking. Um, I remember him being drunk quite a bit. And, they say that alcoholism, it skips a generation. My mother, while she went out and partied, I never got the sense that my mother was ever alcoholic in nature. But my brother and I certainly are. Um, the difference between my brother and I is that I quit, and my brother still drinks, and he jokingly will say he's an alcoholic. Um, he will jokingly say that it's just it's the to quote Hank Williams Jr. It's the family tradition. But for me, um, it's a disease, and it's an addiction, and that spirit of addiction really got its hold on our family. Obviously, uh, I don't know how many generations before, but I mean, it certainly had had a hold on my grandfather, and it had a hold on me. And well, Grandpa said that, like, what it was, that there was a wake up call with the doctor. The doctor said, you're gonna die if you don't quit drinking and you don't quit smoking. And so uh, Grandpa did. So for me, it was an act of stupidity. Um, but it was that act of stupidity that got me to thinking, this is not me, this is not who I am, or this is not who I want to be. And it wasn't nothing, like, I mean, yes, I have drove drunk many a time, but it wasn't like any legal trouble that got me to quit drinking. It was just something so horrifically stupid. And then my brother telling me that, hey, I'm a low life, but like that's lower than anything I ever would have done. And um, I'll just be transparent. And so I had a girlfriend at the time, and broke up with me. And I had an archery target, and I took it over to her house. I still had a key to her house, and she had a son. I thought he would like it, so I brought it over there, and then come to see some guy's suitcase in there. And it was a guy who was coming to visit from Scotland. And the thing is, like, so she broke up with me right before he showed up, so that, like, whatever they did, she could do without any kind of feeling guilty about cheating or whatever. Which, you know um we were together that night that he left, but it was, stupid. Writing was certainly on the wall on that one. I should have, like, broomed that one a lot sooner. But um I thrived on having being involved in toxic relationships, I suppose. But so, and I had tied one on the night before. I was, August 11th, 2000 was the last time I ever got drunk, and I was still feeling the effects of it, and so I urinated in his suitcase. And it was not, then all the jokes came out about, my nickname was Captain Whiz. It was, you know, um, which, she laughed it off after a time, but like when I would laugh at it, then she'd get all serious and get indignant and then mad at me because, like, I don't think that's funny. I don't think you should be laughing at that. And I'm like, well, you were just literally laughing. Just, it was stupid. It was a stupid, toxic relationship. But, like, I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge her. And I always refer to her as she who should never be named because it was just such a toxic, situation. But she, in her own way, was instrumental to me getting sober. So I got sober. And I haven't regretted that decision to get sober. And there's a little bit of a testimony here is that, like, so I got to feeling so convicted about, what I'd done. And I was just so like, crap, this is not me. And I remember I was working at Kmart at the time, and I kind of threw my hands up in the air. And I'm like, I cannot do this. Now, mind you, again, anyone who knows me, in high school, I struggled with it. I would quit. I'd, set parameters for myself. And I'd jump off the bandwagon. I'd be like, oh, I'm fine. And then I'd, break those parameters. And then I would just get progressively worse and worse and worse. And so I had quit for about a year and a half. And, after I tied one on and I got really bad. I mean, that was a root beer schnapps night, and I drank the whole damn thing, and I got so sick off of it. And it was, I was hungover the next day, and still, I was just feeling lousy, and coworkers were having fun with me, banging phones and stuff like that, because, like, loud noises hurt. But, so I got sober for a year and a half, and then I jumped off the bandwagon, and then I got back into it again. And then this time it was different. This time it was one of those things where it's like, Lord, I can't do this. I need you to do this for me because I've tried and I've failed and I can no longer do this. And I need your help. And I said, well, the Bible says that he will never leave or forsake us. So I said, Lord, so as long as you will never leave or forsake me, that's how long I'm going to stay sober. And sure is, you are hearing my voice now. I heard a voice in the back of my head saying, that is a done deal, kid. I can keep my end of the bargain. Now, can you keep yours? I can keep my promise. Can you keep yours? Something along those lines. And I'm just like, symbolically, I defiantly stomped my foot and said, I'll show you. And he's like, no, kid, I'll show you. To this day, I've gone through many trials and many tribulations and many situations where it's one of those things where I could have said God has abandoned me, but he hasn't. How do I know this? Because I'm still sober. He's never left me. He's never forsaken me. He's never abandoned me. He's let me go through some tough times because I needed to learn something. And there were certain lessons I needed to repeat over and over and over again until I finally got it. God saved me from my alcoholism. He saved me from my drinking. To this day, I'm sober. I can't say that I've never touched a drop of alcohol in those 24 years. And here's why. I was at a bar with some friends, supporting another friend who was kind of like a music producer. He had a band that was on stage, and I was drinking soda. I took a sip thinking that it was mine, and like, this tastes funny. Like, I thought there might have been some alcohol in it. So I don't know. I don't know if there was or not. I pushed it away and I asked for a fresh glass of soda. The second time was that I was missing my stepdad, and it was Christmas Eve, and I went to a Christmas mass, did communion, didn't realize they actually use real wine. And so here I've got a mouthful of wine, and I'm like, and I'm in this dilemma. Do I run out of the sanctuary outside, spit it out, and not take part in the sacrament of communion and, like, offend God? Or do I swallow it? And I was like, I don't know what to do. I swallowed it. I went back to my place in the pew, and I sat down and I bowed my head, and I'm like, Lord, I'm so sorry. And again, that voice in the back of my head said, It's all right. You're in my house. And this one is a freebie. You're fine. And so my biggest concern, my biggest fear had always been, if I even tasted alcohol, would I relapse? And then and I never want to do that. So I never touched near beer. I never touched the non-alcoholic stuff, none of that. And then I had wine that night and I was like, oh crap. I mean, what if it triggers me? What if it. And the voice of the Lord just kept saying, I got you, you know, you're in my house and you're fine. And I'm going to make sure you're fine. I never had any relapses. I never had any desires. I never had any cravings because God was faithful. So this is a testament of his faithfulness, really. And so that's where the perspective is of if you always keep your faith in God, he is always going to meet you where you're at. And he is always going to see you through whatever you're going through. That's not to say that whatever you're asking for, the answer is always going to be yes, because that's not realistic. I mean, look in your lifetime in the real world, when you asked your parents for something, did they ever tell you no? If they did, that no was for a reason, right? So when God says no, it's for a reason. He's the ultimate parent, and he does know best. So, I'm just going to say that, it's my sobriety birthday. I'm 24 years old. I'm 24 years sober. And I just want to thank the Lord above and praise his name and bless his name, because I wouldn't be here if it weren't for him. I wouldn't be here talking to you. I wouldn't be here sober. I wouldn't be here. I just wouldn't be here. In whatever capacity that I am, I wouldn't be that. So, and that is all thanks to the work that he has done through me, in me, and through me. So, to quote my friend at church, so blessings unto you who received this message, and all praise, all glory, all reverence be upon him who sits on the Most High, and that is our Father in heaven. So, thank you for tuning in. Have a great day. Take care. Be blessed. Bye.